jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Man, that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back
What's good, everyone? Appreciate you tuning in to WCS, man. Salute to the supporters, as always. Much appreciated. Each and every time you pull up, I'm trying to get something. I'm trying to pull something up right quick. If you're in the building, hit the like button, man. We're about to cook as usual. Hot grease summer. You know, it's a hot grease summer always, man. We're about to get on these heavyweights. We're about to get on the heavyweights. You know what I'm saying? It's good to hear the heavyweights buzzing again. You know what I'm saying? Deontay Wilder's on his way back. Anthony Joshua Usyk too. You know, we got some heat. We got some heat coming. You know, we got some heat. Yes, sir. So, if you haven't been paying attention the last, several weeks, right? The heavyweight division has been clandestine, shouty. It's been deep, dark in the back of a cage, man. In a cave, you know what I'm saying, with the troglodytes. You know what I'm saying? Conversing with the Sumerians. It's been back there in the dark ages. No one really's been talking about it since Fury Wilder 3. It just goes to show you how important it was for those two fighters to step in the ring. The amount of times they did, because they kept the heavyweight division relevant. You know what I'm saying? Deontay Wilder was the only American U.S. heavyweight champion. You know what I'm saying? Yes, Trevor Bryant was up there, but when I say he's American heavyweight champion, people say, oh, well, not really. He's Jamaican and he had the WBA regular. If we're going to call Gervonta Davis a champion, we got to call former WBA regular champion Trevor Bryant. You know, shout out to Trevor Bryant, man. But Deontay Wilder was in a position where, the last time he was in Brooklyn, it was pretty toasty up in there. Yeah, him and Dominique Brazil going at it. I mean, I'm talking about personal. We're talking about, we don't know how many votes was going back and forth on that wire transfer, but they was going back and forth. The presser was heated. You know what I'm saying? It was even N-bombs dropped when the camera was rolling. Nigga, we'll fuck you up, nigga. I always got to thank the champ for allowing me to be a part of that situation. You know what I'm saying? Because I was able to go in through the back, cover the champ on his way to the press conference. Good times, good memories. Him and Dominique Brazil had a previous altercation before. I even put the video out with Dominique Brazil went at his daughter that had spina bifida and pretty much, took it to a whole nother depth of personal barbs. Dude was just like, this was one of those fights where it got the buzz, you know what I'm saying? It got the buzz, and Dominique Brazil had already been stopped by Joshua. But when he stepped in there with Wilder, they had that history together. I'm talking about real sharp contentiousness where it can go down at any time. And I'm not gonna lie, Brooklyn was lit. Brooklyn was lit that weekend. And in the process of maneuvering through the arena, I was able to get next to the freaking entryway and was able to see one of the best, walkouts, that Deontay Wilder was able to do during his reign as champ. It was great, man. You know what I'm saying? He's headed back there this time. Believe it or not, he headed back to Brooklyn, man. He's headed back to Brooklyn. The champ has faced 2 defeats to the hands of Tyson Fury in the second and third of their trilogy. You know what I'm saying? The only 2 losses on his resume is from Tyson Fury. The champ is 41 and 2. 42 and 2 and 1. 41 knockouts. He definitely holds the bragging rights for dropping everybody on his resume. Let me get to the chat real quick. Like, big blunts and boxing on deck with it. And like I say before, listen, if I say support somebody, support, raise them up, pass the word. Word of mouth happens, happens a lot. People take word of mouth for granted, but it does spread fast. Go check Big Blunts and Boxing out. Andrew Charles on deck. What's good, Andrew? I can legitimately say Andrew Charles is a freaking a YTC collegiate. He's everywhere, dog. He's a motherfucking professor. I see him in some of everybody's chat, man. Shout out to Andrew. He always pulls up too. He just don't sit in the chat and don't say shit. He provides that input. You know what I'm saying? Let me just say, congrats on 9K subs, OG. A little over 9K. It was 8 something last week. Yeah, man. I don't know where they coming from. Like, my shit's organic. I don't do anything else. It's organic. So I see the numbers coming up, and the only people I have to think is the ones who's tuned in and respect what I'm doing. I have to thank them for respecting what I'm doing. I'm cool with it, bro. And, appreciate you bringing that to the light. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate the ones who support what I'm doing, who understands, this game ain't easy. And also, having a voice out here in the YTC long enough to the point where people know I can talk to boxing, MMA, BJJ. I can talk it pretty thorough. I'm not the best out here, but yeah, I definitely appreciate the ones who rocking with the channel, man, on a consistent basis. That's what it is. Good to see WCS growing. Numbers don't lie. Yeah, bro, it's growing, man. It's growing. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely growing. Big salute to the ones who've been tuning in, whether you like the channel or you here to like the channel and listen to the content, or you just here just to eavesdrop. Either way, it's all good, bro. IB, what's good? IB, who IB? W says, what up, OG? It's going to be a nice weekend of boxing. Yes, indeed, man. It's going to be a nice weekend of boxing because, we got the heavyweights. Anthony Joshua, Alexander Usyk. 2. We want to see this. We definitely wants to see this here. Screen check, OG. It's saying you in picture. What? I'm not in no picture mode, bro. Hold on for a second. I'm not in no picture mode. Man, and StreamYard be doing what the fuck they want to do sometimes. I'm definitely not in no picture mode. But let's get back to the heavyweights. You know, the intro was definitely about Wilder returning to the sport. And you know, well as I do, if you let me see, I'm speaking heavyweight Shane the Beast Wood. They're gonna be a guy to watch. I followed him doing MMA career, but now he's taking boxing serious and made the undercard of a major fight. He's been around for a while, man. You know what I'm saying? People's getting on him for the way he was training his sons, but he wasn't abusing his son. He was training them just the way he feels inside, the way he feel that he's cut. You know, his son is, you know, when you train your kids like that, you either gonna turn them into something that's beast mode authentic, or you're gonna break them. Period. But you know, I feel that he's a good father. I feel that he does have a sense of emulation about him. And he was fighting a little bit too much like Mike Tyson to me at one point in time. I really wanted to see him, you know, lose some weight a little bit and become a bit more serious with the sport. You know, I mean, his name was out there. He was making little short videos, but we really didn't hear anything else from him. Like stepping up competition. Like, are you taking boxing serious? It just seems like more so people was comparing him to our Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have nothing bad to say about the dude. It was at one point in time I was supposed to he said he was going to interview with me, but he got tied up, and then, you know, I never was able to, you know, get back with him for an interview, which is all good. You know, fighters, they can or they can't. But shout out to him, if you know, him being on the major card, man. I hope he takes it serious now. Back to the Wilder situation. You know, Wilder returning to Brooklyn. The last time he was over there, from my understanding, I believe it was his 9th title defense, and Dominique Brazil was his opposition. And you know, just seeing him walk out the tunnel and everything, the place was buzzing. And you know what that showed me? That showed me that Deontay Wilder does have legitimate fans out there that support him. I mean, the place was rocking. It was frenetic, y'all. People were standing. They just couldn't wait till the main event. They were so anxious. And then, you know, Dominique Brazil came out. Wilder came out. You know, I mean, I remember at one point in time they were saying stuff like, Wilder can't sell no tickets. You know, he don't have no fan base. And I'm listening to the roar. I'm listening to the buzz. I feel the place rocking in there, you know? And I say, no, man, he has fans. You know what I'm saying? He has fans, man. He has the hardcore fans that rock with him. He went in there, and of course, you know, the fighters was introduced. And Dominique Brazil, you know, I don't even think real talk, I don't even think the showers finished dripping back there. You know what I'm saying? I don't think the showers finished dripping. Like, you know, the fighters might have came in, you know, they might have had to, you know, wash off their gear or something. But some fighters take a shower when they come into the arena. I don't even think shit had just, you know, got settled in back there yet before, you know, the fight was over. He hit him with what JD's called a blind 2. He put the left out there, and you already know the right was a reckoning. He shut Dominique Brazil down. I mean, when he landed that shot, it sounded like an earthquake, where everybody, you know, tuning in and basically roaring and shit for the impact of the shot. I mean, it was incredible. And Dominique Brazil is not a small dude. So when people pretty much hyped it up, we all was the hype man that night. He hit the damn canvas, man. It was over. You know, he dropped like a sack of Idaho specials. You know, boom. He tried to get up and almost went over the top rope damn near, you know. But it was one of those exciting moments. It's good that he's returning. I just want to see the champ go in there and perform well, I'm not going to sit up here and make any predictions about anything. Robert Helenius is a tall, rangy fighter himself. Deontay has good familiarity with who this guy is. Helenius has been over his house before. They sparred. And for what he's saying, Wilder, they not enemies going in there. They pretty decent friends. You know what I'm saying? So they're not just like bona fide enemies is going in there and we getting the Bermain Stavern type, preamble heading into this fight. I mean, it's been plenty of people that Deontay Wilder did not like. It's not the Dominic Breazeale type energy. No, you're not getting that. You're not getting the Arthur Spilka type energy. There was a lot of cats that had something to say. It's not the Tyson Fury 2 and 3 type energy. These guys are pretty much, cool. I already hear the people talking about, hey, another sparring partner. Is a guy in there to defeat Deontay Wilder? Is he trying to make his way to the title contention? You know what I'm saying? This, that, and the other. That's what people want to know. And that's what we're going to see come October. You know what I'm saying? We're going to see. And check this out. From what we understand, that Caleb Plant is going to be fighting Anthony Durrell on that. And we've heard about this fight long time ago. We heard about them potentially linking up long time ago. But I'm going to be honest with you, people. I'm a bit dissatisfied with hearing this news with Caleb Plant fighting Anthony Durrell, because on 2 separate occasions when I talked to Caleb Plant, he pretty much said that David Benavidez was the easiest. He was the easiest win in the division. Now I have to call cap on that, because now you're fighting Anthony Durrell for a WBC shot. The winner gets a WBC shot at Canelo Alvarez. Anybody in their sound mind and body knows we don't want to see Caleb Plant Canelo Alvarez again. We don't want to see that. Do we really want to see Anthony Durrell? Yeah, why not? So get a fresh face in there. The only reason I don't want to see Caleb Plant, who told me twice that David Benavidez was the easiest. We don't want to see him back in there because he was having a conversation with Canelo. It seemed like he just basically settled in. He had a what they call the he had that energy dump, that adrenaline dump. It all settled in for him. I don't know if he didn't look tired to me, but you're looking at 2 fighters that had physical contact with each other before the fight. You look at 2 fights that was personal, everything. It was personal about this fight, right? But you up there kind of have this expression on your face like a smirk, and you really trying to have a sidebar with Canelo Alvarez, and you're attempting to try to get his acceptance. You want him to co-sign you in the 9th round. You start saying, "Oh, I look pretty good for this, that." It's bullshit, Caleb. You lost some fans doing that shit, bro. I'm not gonna lie. You lost some fans, man. You lost some fans. I got mad respect for Caleb, but from what you told me and what I seen in there with Canelo and who you're fighting on this undercard, it's like that's not David Benavidez, bro. Like, why y'all not gonna fight? You said he was the easiest win in the division, but yet his name doesn't even come close to yours. You don't even really mention it like, okay, the next person I'm gonna fight. So if you go in here and you defeat Anthony Durrell, you're just gonna wait on Canelo again? We're not trying to see that. I mean, your name is out there floating around. Let's see you fight the Mexican Monster, bro. You beat Benavidez, shit. You about to get paid extensively. You about to look right. Them numbers, when they do account balance, I mean, your shit's gonna be looking and sounding real nice. Everybody's gonna be happy. But I just feel like at this point in time, from what you told me, people may not even look at it the way I do, but I physically interviewed you twice, and you said that David Benavidez was the easiest. But yet his name hasn't even come even close to being contractually binded with yours. Anyway, that's gonna be on the undercard. It's gonna be a nice card, I guess. It's good to see the heavyweight division with the name of Deontay Wilder returning back to the ring. And it's good to see the fight that's going down this weekend. This fight has been a sleeper, in my opinion, because when I look back at the time where it was Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, I was very, very critical, and my criticism didn't go unnoticed, but I felt good inside. My heart felt warm because I said, Anthony Joshua was a robot. He absolutely was a robot, and Vladimir could have beat his ass. I just lost an extremely amount of respect for Anthony Joshua when they was trying to just give Deontay a flat fee. I felt that was some plantation language behavior. This is a competitive sport. You call yourself the best. You got those titles over there. You don't want to do anything special. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to do anything special, or you want to be protected. So it turned out that Anthony Joshua would have rather wanted to be protected than anything, because we already found out why. Deontay Wilder's right hand is a highlight reel. And I know when people hear me say that, they can say, well, look at the competition they face. Well, check this. Look at the competition that's available. Let's check that out. Look at the competition that's available. Whether you now respect him more with 2 defeats on his record, you need to spin the reel and go in reverse and really ask yourself, did he shy away from the best competition? Just ask yourself that, because what opposition was available to make it a murderer's row? The heavyweight division wasn't a murderous row of fighters where you can place that stamp of disapproval on Deontay Wilder. You can't do it, bro. He fought Luis King Kong Ortiz when King Kong was undefeated. You know what I'm saying? King Kong heard him, people jumping up for joy. Yeah, we told you. And then the bell rings, the round is over. And we pretty much know what was in store after that. He went through adversity and people still didn't like it. You know what I'm saying? People still didn't like King Kong was trying to, be that Cuban that make history. He had 41 fucking seconds. How much more time did he need? He had 41 seconds, bro. In the 7th round, 41 freaking seconds. And every time you used to hear people say, well, Deontay almost got stopped by King Kong. Hey, King Kong buzzed him. But after he beat him, he gave him a rematch. You feel me? I remember sitting in the stands and I was, zooming around because the fight was a bit lethargic in the first half. And I'm trying to find out when we're going to start to set it off, when the M80 is going to come out. Because we know freaking, Deontay Wilder had that stick of dynamite, those frag grenades. You know what I'm saying? And Luis Ortiz was just having his time. Boom, 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 boom. And then all of a sudden, black. The back spray from the sweat on his hair almost seemed like I was watching the movie Ghost and Creed mixed in together. It seems like a ghost left Ortiz's body, but yet it was a boxing movie. And Ortiz dropped down to the canvas again with that look on his face like, damn it. No, senor. No, not again. He couldn't do anything. Well, what they say? Wilder was losing the fight before he stopped him. Of course. You know what I'm saying? But what I want y'all to understand is that you can't deny that Wilder had the heart, you know what I'm saying, to go in there and fight the best heavyweights that was out there. You know, he fought the King Kongs when they was undefeated. You know, his daughter had a situation medically. He allowed that man to make money. You know what I'm saying? He stepped in there with Tyson Fury, a fighter who in real time, when it comes down to, you know, the honesty, that somebody's giving you that raw honesty, we can say that Tyson Fury was stopped in the first fight. But thanks to Jack Reese, you know what I'm saying, raising him up from the dead, he was able to move on and get a draw. But in history, I mean, if I'm talking about history, I have to say that Wilder was defeated in the rematch in the trilogy, period, point blank. Now coming full circle, it's good to see him return back to the square. Really, it is. It's great. It's good to see Robert Helenius. I like Helenius, man. I like Helenius for some reason. Dude is a bit ominous. You know what I'm saying? You can tell he's somebody that you wouldn't want to just sit up here and poke the bear. He seems like an odd, different dude, a tough individual. You know what I'm saying? He'll fuck you up. I'm just curious how this fight's going to play out, being that they were sparring partners. That's all. You know what I'm saying? People always want to look at that. It was former sparring partners. There's a lot of boxers spar each other, but that don't mean they're going to go in there and just move around and Deontay Wilder's going to land his right hand. Nah, I think this is going to be a sleeper. I think this is really going to be an entertaining fight. My big question mark is how much Deontay Wilder is going to weigh. You know what I'm saying? That's a big question for me. What is he planning on weighing? Andrew said, I agree that I think AJ is capable if he drops the I'm a nice guy routine. No, don't drop it. No, Andrew. You know, we need to keep it. We need to keep it on topic when it comes to Anthony Joshua. All right. I have no, it's not going to be a sympathy parade with Anthony Joshua. When he was on top of the world and people were saying that he was selling out Wembley, this man could do no motherfucking wrong in the heavyweight division. He was the best, you know, the next coming to Ali. The man changed up his shorts from red to white. They put this man up on a levitating platform, AJ and pyrotechnics and shit. You know what I'm saying? They gave him everything he asked for, bro. The referees, all them fights across the pond, whether it was a Wembley, O2, they gave him everything he needed. They gave him goddamn Charles Martin with a nice little hefty check. He say, see ya, bye-bye. You got it. Take that IBF title. Vladimir haven't fought since Fury. Hey, how you doing, buddy? You want to come make some money? Sure. When's the fight? Okay, no problem. Vladimir came out of retirement. He could have beat Anthony Joshua, but that wasn't the orders. So he lost on his feet in the 11th round, I think, right? It was just a lot that was going on with Joshua that I didn't respect because I didn't see him as being that talented. Even when I saw him compete in the London Olympics, I didn't think he was that talented. I just think he was a bit mechanical. You know what I'm saying? Just straight up mechanical. You can just know that, hey, this is what you're going to get from Joshua. But like I said on that other live, I say it's amazing. His resume, though. He has some names on his resume. And people always tell me, they say, WCS, bro, you have to give this man some type of respect. Look at this resume, bro. Look at it. The man's been in there with the who's who of the heavyweights. Not a Tyson Fury. Not named Deontay Wilder. But he's been in there with the other ones, though. Andy Ruiz, the Joseph Parkers, Dillian Whites, Dominique Brazil, Carlos Takam, Alexander Povetkin. You know, he fought Alexander Povetkin on the first fight of his Wembley deal. You know, when they put that 2-fight Wembley deal that was worth all this money, and, you know, that's what they used to break off the negotiations with him and Deontay Wilder. because Alexander Povetkin was the WBA mandatory. So he went in there and ended up getting stopped. But, man, AJ, he got some names on his resume. Real talk, he got some names, man. And for a long time, people were just talking about Vladimir. He got a Klitschko. He beat Klitschko. They didn't give a fuck if Klitschko was in retirement or not. All they talked about is Klitschko. Now he's faced the L twice, and he's in there with a different type of monster. Usyk is different, bro. You can't read Usyk. He doesn't have these predictable habits like, you try to see if somebody's their armor is chinked. Where does he have a chink in his armor? Where can we break down Alexander Usyk? You can't see that. Like when I seen him in person for the first time over in NYC, I'm just looking at this dude. He was in all black. I said, this dude is different. He had on some platform shoes like Frankenstein would wear. I didn't say shit to him. I just had my camera out. Boom, I started to take some pictures. He seen me take some pictures and he started playing in the lens a little bit. And then I went over and asked because I took a picture. He said, sure. Took a picture with him. Cool cat. Then when I seen him and his team before, not before. Before the fight, I seen him out and about, right? He came down to the lobby of the Stewart, and he was dressed in like some regular clothes, jeans, like an olive colored military like jacket, just a casual attire, nothing, like over the top that's disguising his identity. And he had like two guys behind him, and they left, and he was walking in front of him doing his own thing. You know what I'm saying? I seen some reporters. I think they was from the UK. I'm not sure. But Usyk, all of us was at the elevator. Of course, I'm being there. I'm trying to get the exclusive, trying to see what's going on because Usyk's getting on this elevator. So it was this guy who's just being a juvenile at the time, being rambunctious, better word. Usyk wasn't acknowledging his presence. He was telling the guy non-verbally, "You're not recognized. Leave me the fuck alone." So Usyk had his people there, and the guy reached out and poked Usyk on the shoulder, and Usyk was right in front of me. He turned and looked at the guy. He didn't blink. He just turned and looked at that nigga like, "Do it again. Do it again." He probably would have just snatched him up and put him up, in front of the elevator and said, you need. It's up to me to give you some etiquette. Let me show you how etiquette. If somebody's ignoring you, don't poke him on the shoulder like that. And when he was looking at the dude kind of leaned back a little bit. His people was like, oh, "Okay, let's catch another elevator. This we're definitely not getting on this one." They wouldn't have let him on, dog. Usyk gave that dude the stare the stare of death, dog. He was like, "No, you about to allow me to get some shadow boxing in on your forehead, goddammit, before I even step in the ring." I'm here to support Vasyl Lomachenko, but I'm about to go in the ring and fuck you up. He was there to support his boy. You know what I'm saying? You could have thought Alexander Usyk was on fight week when the weigh-in was there. He was right there sitting right. I'm telling you, right there in front of the front row, man. Right down the front row, man. They was just giving him concierge service, man. The flower treatment. They was giving him the VIP platinum treatment, and he was cool people, man. People was loving seeing Usyk on deck to support Vasyl Lomachenko. But to me, it just felt like it was Usyk's fight week. It felt like it was Usyk's fight week. Anthony Joshua hasn't came over to the U.S. enough, besides Jarrell Miller, for us to really get close to him as a fighter. Somehow, some way, Anthony Joshua seems like he's just very, very I don't know, skeptical about returning. He might feel it was bad luck, but how can it be bad luck? Because Jarrell Miller had like 16,000 freaking PEDs in him allegedly. So he fell out. It wasn't like you was cheated. It wasn't like we got the Antonio Margarito and Miguel Cotto effect, where we assuming like he might have been dirty that fight. He might have been dirty. You know what I'm saying? He might have been dirty. It's not like we got that effect all the way up to him being snagged on the Sugar Shane Mosley. We didn't have that with Joshua. We didn't see him get his ass beat and then feel sorry for him. Jarrell Miller got caught before he was able to do that. And, you know, looking back at it, I think Jarrell might have took the titles back then. But we all know Andy Ruiz did it. Can this be a rivalry? Can Anthony Joshua, Alexander Usyk be a rivalry? I hope so. I hope Alexander Usyk and Joshua becomes a trilogy. Real talk. I do, man. I want them to become a trilogy, bro. I want them to become a trilogy because a lot of people are going to be looking at this fight this weekend. Seriously. They're going to be paying attention. He doesn't look as bulky as he usually does, so maybe he's been working on his stamina. What we know about Anthony Joshua, a lot of people were saying that back then, Anthony Joshua was definitely, possibly on the juice. Not just me. There's some other fighters that I was talking to that felt that he may not be clean. You know what I'm saying? There's no hate on Joshua, but you have to look at something, right? When he fought Carlos Takam, the agreed weight was like 235 from my understanding. And then Joshua comes in there at 254. Dude was super bulky. No damn cardio. Even so much to the point when he did land his patented shot, punch on Carlos Takam, it knocked him down. But it wasn't like Carlos Takam was hurt like that. He got back up. It was leaning heavy on the referee trying to say, okay, let me call the fight because you want to hurry up and get this fight over with because, you know, Carlos Takam, he wasn't doing bad. But Anthony Joshua was 254, bulked up like a motherfucker and didn't have a lick of cardio, like an asthmatic mice. You know what I'm saying? This dude, I should have said an asthmatic turtle. He didn't have no motherfucking cardio, y'all. AJ seen many styles. He has the most names on his belt at heavyweight. He should make his adjustments, perform better this time around. That's easier spoken than actually something we would see play out when it comes to Anthony Joshua. It would be great if we can just imagine that he's capable of doing what you just said, IB, like to go in there and make adjustments and things. We've seen him get broken down and don't have an alternative. Like this man don't have an option. I don't know what's going on. It's almost like, man, I always show people that picture that I had. I just see the little boy that was all frail and thin, not a damn muscle in his body. Inside that physique that they built, I still see Anthony Joshua in that red outfit. Y'all know what red outfit I'm talking about too. That red uniform that he had on. I've been calling for Helenius versus Joe Joyce. I think that's a great stylistic matchup. I agree with you on that. You know, I can agree with you on that. But Joe Joyce, he's definitely on a fast track. And you know, it's good he's stepping in there with who he's stepping in with right now. He's not too exciting, man. Like Helenius brings that dark side, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to the attraction from his fans. He brings like a dark side. He has the bragging rights outside of Daniel Dubois. He has 2 fights that he totally dominated with Andy Konoski. You feel me? People want to see Robert Helenius come back for that reason. The fact that Joe Joyce right hand couldn't miss. All I heard was Snoop saying, he can't miss. Look, that motherfucker can't miss. Look, again, that glove can't miss. It just seemed like that's all that was going on. Dubois would not move his fucking head, dog. And he just keep on pop. It was like popcorn, dog. Pop, 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 pop. That eye was looking bad. But Joe Joyce, to me, he's a good dude. You know what I'm saying? He don't go around pissing people off. It's not too much people get mad about. But, dude, no one's really looking for Joe Joyce to pair him up to a fight they want to see. Like Robert Helenius, that would be good. But I think Robert Helenius is winning stepping in there with Deontay. I think he's definitely winning, dog. Outside of a Joe Joyce, I think he's winning with a Deontay Wilder, dog. Because they still have Deontay ranked in the top 5 of heavyweights. You know what I mean? So being that he's ranked in the top 5, Wilder's at a point right now where he can, like he did before, you know, he can bring on another name that's not so big, and it's going to get buzz if it's the right one. Robert Helenius is getting more buzz than he got. And look, we have to accredit Helenius. We have to accredit him for the 2 wins that he earned over Andy Konoski. Those were dominating wins. We have to give him his credit. Seriously, we have to give this man his credit for that. So let's look at Robert Helenius, man. He has 31 victories, 3 defeats, and 20 knockouts. You know what I'm saying? His alias is the Nordic Nightmare. I like the last name Helenius. You know what I'm saying? Helenius, show your face. You know what I'm saying? He gives you that Sparta type. You know what I'm saying? Dramatic. So, of course, his biggest wins was his last 2 wins. March of 2020, Andy Konoski. He stopped him in the 4th round. And then they rematched in October of 2021. And he stopped him again in the 6th round. You know? And in the rematch, Konoski was deducted a point for low blows. He was trying to put off Andrew Galata, bro. You know what I'm saying? I was disappointed in Konoski because I met him in person before at the MGM Grand. He's a nice dude, man. You know what I'm saying? Looked like a big ass baby. But it just seems like, man, he just lost his mental focus or something like that. I have no idea what was going on with him, man. He looked terrible in that. Juice Lee, what's good? Salute WCS, salute to you. Salute to you. Appreciate you pulling up. Charles say Dubois fought since. I can't remember that fight now. I feel like he did, though. He did fight. You know, he just fought Trevor Bryant, that Drew. Come on, Drew. Come on, man. Man, you a YTC gladiator out here, bro. You know he fought for the WBA regular title. He picked up his first title, man. He stopped Trevor Bryant in like early rounds, like 3rd or 4th round or something like that. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Those were 2 long nights for Konoski. Yeah, it definitely was, man. It definitely was. King Mitch on deck with it. What's up, Mitch? What's good with it, bro? Yeah, you know, let's talk about some of the names Helenius has on there. He has Gerald Washington. You know what I'm saying? He fought Gerald Washington when he was 19-3-1, a common opponent of Deontay Wilder. You know what I'm saying? He has a Dillian White on his resume. He lost a UD, a 12-round UD. Deontay Wilder has not fought Dillian yet, but we want some of that. You know what I'm saying? We want to be a part of that. If you're looking at Johan Duhaupas, a common opponent, him and Deontay Wilder has absolutely fought Johan Duhaupas. Robert Helenius lost via 6-round KO, and Deontay Wilder was the first one to stop him, I believe. You know, it was a late stoppage, like in the 11th round, I think. Who else on here that's coming, man? He fought Derek Chisora. He has a win over Derek Chisora, split decision. You know, back in December 2011. You know, that's another fighter that people want to see fight Wilder. He fought Samuel Peter. You know what I'm saying? Back in April 2011. He has a win over him. 9th round. Who else? Layman Brewster. Back in January 2010. 8th round stoppage. Robert Helenius, he has some pretty solid names on his shit too. You know what I'm saying? But of course, there are always going to be critics. There are always going to be individuals that say, who are they, whatever. But always tell yourself that this era of heavyweights in general, it is not that roster that you look at and say 1 through 10, they all killers. It's not that way, bro. That shit start to thin out around 5. You can't say they all killers, man. Like Andrew Ruiz, when he started getting that buzz from, you know, taking the belts from Joshua, man, I couldn't click on the media outlet. I couldn't turn on the TV. Everybody was talking about Ruiz and one of the biggest upsets of boxing. Man, they was praising this dude, dog. He was getting all the flowers, petals falling out the motherfucking sky, dog. Ruiz was the first Mexican heavyweight. Oh my God. I say, man, Joshua can't fuck with him in a rematch until they start putting them pictures out there of Andy Ruiz's weight. We was like, uh-oh. Them fiestas, that tequila, man, he was having some fun, bro. And, you know, just think about how Ruiz was thinking at the time. He had a rematch coming up, so he wasn't thinking about too much of the money he made from the first one. But anyway, it wasn't a murderous row, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Deontay Wilder fought one of the baddest men in the game next to himself 3 fucking times. He fought Luis Ortiz. Who else has beat Luis Ortiz up to that point? You know what I'm saying? After Deontay Wilder, who else is defeating? Charles Martin came close, but we all seen what happened. So now we kind of blend in the other names, like the Alexander Usyk. He's getting mad praise because he was undisputed and at the cruiserweight division. And then only 3 fights, he's able to, you know, unseat the belts from Anthony Joshua. So people low key, they really starting to fuck with Alexander Usyk. And then if he goes in here and win the rematch with Joshua, which a part of me want to say it might be a trilogy. It'll be smart to pull this trilogy, but he defeats Joshua again. I'm curious to know what route he's going to take, man. You know, supposedly Tyson Fury is retired and all this other shit. I don't want to get into it. I'm not getting into that. But I'm looking forward to seeing this fight this weekend. I just want to see how Joshua looks as far as his composure. I want to see if Robert Garcia was able to bring an inner monster, that inner demon. I'm just curious to know if even during training camp, was Robert Garcia able to take him to the dark side? Was it anybody that he sparred? You know what I'm saying? Was every sparring partner that came in there, were they given a brief and say, hey, man, just move around with him. You know, if you get him hurt, you know, don't try to do anything, Don't try to shine on him. Remember, don't try to shine on him. Just move around. We just want to get certain things. We're trying to work on some things. I'm just wondering if Robert Garcia was able to take him to the dark side, because all I was hearing is that Anthony Joshua, his killer instinct, he doesn't have it. He doesn't seem like he take things over seriously. He don't see the sense of urgency. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are just saying like he's just going along for the ride. Like, I already know I'm getting my money. I already know I'm getting my money. All I have to do is, do little press. I don't know, man. It's just something off about Joshua. Maybe he don't have that hunger for boxing anymore. Maybe he want to go do some other shit. I just think about when people, that song, that hook, damn homie. Damn homie. They said you was the man, homie. I just think about way back when Joshua could do no wrong in the conversation of the YTC, the conversations of Facebook. Joshua could do no wrong. He's the best champion since freaking Muhammad Ali. He's going to be better than Muhammad Ali. They was just giving him all these accolades. Now he's on the brink of becoming 3-time heavyweight world champion. That's very important, of course. But I think if he does win this fight, something's telling me it's not going to be a Tyson Fury, his next opponent. I just think they're going to fight for a trilogy to pick up another bag. I mean, Eddie Hearns is living over there in the dirt, as we call it in the military and combat, the sandbox. He's living in the sandbox, bro. They making some hellified money, bro. Shout out to the heavyweights back in the motherfucking building, dog. Dubois recently beat the shit out of somebody. Don't remember who. Trevor Bryan. Yeah. What's going on, Retro for Life on deck? What's good? Salute WCS. Salute to you, brother. Appreciate you dropping in the chat. Mid say Usyk versus AJ been real quiet. Saudi's about to waste that good oil money. Man, they ain't wasting shit. And them boys got money over that month, that liquid money. Eddie's smart, man. I got to give Eddie his props. He's one of the best in the game when you're talking about mediating a presser. The questions that he asks, his sense of humor. I mean, Eddie's the best in the game right now at it, bro. He's the best in the motherfucking game, dog. Seriously, he can mediate a fight. I've collected so much Eddie Hearns data. He does well, really well. You know what I'm saying? He does really well with mediating. Asking the fighters the questions, kind of pulling, he's not leaning heavy towards one fighter. He kind of keep it neutral. And it is what it is with him, I know he would like for Joshua to go out there and be victorious, no doubt about it. If they can get this heavyweight undisputed to be held over in the UK or wherever they choosing to hold it, it'll be a win for Eddie Hearns, man. Big money, big money, big money, shawty. This is just my opinion, but I still have Ruiz and Ortiz in my 4th and 5th spot on my heavyweight list. I might be biased though, because I was truly inspired when Ruiz beat AJ. I didn't get no inspiration from that Andrew. I didn't get any inspiration because I just always felt like Joshua was overrated. I just always felt that time was coming. That Andy Ruiz moment was coming. I didn't know if it was going to be in the arrangement for which it played out, with Jarrell Miller testing positive and then a last-minute replacement. But I just felt like one of his opponents was going to hand him his first L in the worst way. I could have sworn I said that shit back in the day on my lives I say, man, somebody's gonna knock him out. He's overrated. He was on the canvas several times against Vladimir, who was in retirement. He was on the canvas, man. He could have lost that fight. But Vladimir had to be reminded. Vladimir had a blackout, dog. Vladimir say, Vitality, I think I can do it. I can go on another title run. Vitality was like, don't do it. You're not here for that. Don't do that. Fall back. He listened to his brother. Man, he was landing that laser ass right, man. Shit. It was only a matter of time, man, that Joshua take that first L. I did not think it was going to be the fighter with the body type of an Andy Ruiz. I said the body type now. I never said he didn't have cardio or he couldn't box. Andy Ruiz was built different. This nigga can box. He showed that against Joseph Parker. He can motherfucking box. But to come in last minute against a fighter like Anthony Joshua, it seemed like a tall task, really. It seemed like, nah, this is the wrong move, but Joshua, his chin ain't all that. Let's see what's up. Andy Ruiz went down first. I say, here we go. Let's see what Ruiz got, man. Let's see, can Joshua close this shit out? Nope. Glad to see some new names getting talked about now in the heavyweight division. Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? More so, Alexander Usyk. One thing about Usyk, him being on the pound for pound list, he's absolutely official, certified. You can't fuck with Usyk on if he should. Yes, he should. Yes. You know what I'm saying? We can talk about, his cruiserweight all day long, but he was undisputed. His first two opponents, Chase Witherspoon and Derek Chisora, he got him out the way. He's coming up from undisputed now. Let's not get it twisted. So he really don't need to, go to the back of the line and work his way up in a 2-year span. They gave him 2 fights. He got the shit done. He had a little shaky performance against Chisora. Then he stepped in there and got the job done against Joshua. He's certified now. He's certified. He's where he need to be. I like Usyk, man. I like him as a fighter, man. The way he carries himself in person. The way he is a quiet. How they used to have that saying, silent but deadly. Usyk is a silent but deadly pugilist. You really can't read Usyk. He's a very eccentric type dude that's certified. He's official when it comes to his boxing game. So it's highly possible Usyk can get the victory. But I do believe this fight can go to a trilogy, bro. The only way it goes to a trilogy if Usyk loses and Joshua picks up the belts. Something crazy. You know what I'm saying? Something wild happened that Joshua was able to stop Usyk and pick up those belts and become 3-time heavyweight champion. That's going to build up some crazy momentum heading into the trilogy. It's boxing, y'all. Never forget that shit. Neither Ruiz or Ortiz looked good in their last fight. Ruiz knocked down and hurt several times by Areola. Ortiz dropped twice by Martin. We know what happened. And people are always going to put him in that same suit. They're going to make him wear that motherfucker, dog. Because they still remember the Ruiz that went up there and blew it and went on a snicker fest and just really start becoming a full-fledged member to Golden Corral Buffet. You know what I'm saying? Chipotle. You know what I'm saying? He just let himself go through the glitz and glamour, and he admitted to all that. I'm not sure what was going on with the Areola situation, because a lot of us looking at Areola history, we thought that Ruiz would do fairly decent with controlling that shit. We never thought. I never thought. I wasn't thinking that Ruiz was going to be. He was going to experience the adversity that he did with Chris Arreola. So I say, is he lost focus again? Like, what the fuck, dog? Like, you're talking about a fighter Arreola that's been known to tell you he had drinking issues and fluctuating in weight and not remaining disciplined with his eating and stuff like that. Not to mention all the fights that was going on in the stands with the Latinos. You know what I'm saying? They was scrapping over that motherfucker. I don't know what about, but it was a fight in the ring, and it was multiple fights. Just like, when Gervonta Davis was fighting Rolly, it was multiple fights in the stands. Crazy. Yeah, they didn't look good. But who are we comparing them to? I'm not putting any of the new faces over them. Andy Ruiz is still a top heavyweight. Period. He's still a top heavyweight. We're not even talking about Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. Regardless of what we think of Tyson Fury, he's still him in that lug of a frame that he was blessed with. He's one of the best there is. He's the best heavyweight right now. Real talk. He is. He's the best heavyweight. You're talking about a guy who's been dropped by Deontay Wilder several times, and Fury and Wilder dropped by Fury. So you got to put them up there. And then comes into play with Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. You're talking about Anthony Joshua, Alexander Usyk. The one saving grace for Anthony Joshua is that he's the unified. He's been holding on to those bundles, those championship bundles for quite some time, bro. That's why he gets the super pass. He's been holding on to those straps, those unified titles. It wasn't just a single title, unified. So that's what kept him in the top 5, even though his performances were like, I don't know. Usyk, top 5, period. So if we was to go no particular order, if we was to go Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, Alexander Usyk, number 5, becomes a little crazy. You know what I'm saying? Number 5 comes a little crazy. We can put Andy Ruiz, we can put him at number 5, but then you'll have people like, well, Dillian White. They still want to get Dillian White that love. Even though, man, all his losses have been knockouts and he can't stay consistent. And as much as he talks shit about getting his shot at the WBC title when Wilder had it, he ended up getting his opportunity with Tyson Fury and he went out, man. So you got to, we can't put Derek Chisora up there. Okay, we love the toughness and everything, but he can't be included. We got Filip Hrgović. He's pretty much on the rise. There's a lot of people supporting him. I don't have nothing bad to say about Hrgović. He's a bit. He reminds me of a stack of lumber, though. He's very durable and tough. But how is he gonna fare when he definitely get in there with somebody that holds down the weight and the height and has some pretty decent hands? He just seems, I don't know. He's building himself up. He's about to step in there with Zhang. Let's see what he's able to do with that. Let's see. But it gets a little shaky, man. Daniel Dubois, Joe Joyce. It just gets a little shaky with this heavyweight division. It's not a murderer's row, man. Like, you get to 5, let's just put Andy Ruiz, and then 6 and 7. It all depends, man. People say Dubois. Yeah, that's who we are. Dubois. Yeah, he has a belt. You got to put him at 6. But then you have other people say, well, this fighter may beat Dubois. Joe Joyce beat Dubois. He don't have a belt, but he beat him already, and he'll probably beat him again. When it comes to like the top 7 or 8, Joe Joyce's name would be in there. No doubt about it. His name would be in there. It all depends, man. Dillian White, they'll still keep his name in there because of who he's been in there with. He's lost the top names. He lost to the top names, man. Alexander Povetkin had a very, very respectable resume. He fought Anthony Joshua in a non-title fight. And then he just lost to the WBC king, the reigning defending Tyson Fury. So you can't say outside of that he was losing to a fighter like Daniel Dubois or something like that. No, I mean, his losses all stoppages, but with top tier names. So it has some Wall Street to his, top 10, placement. That's all. He said, I have absolutely no love for D-Bag White, but I think he can beat the current versions of Ruiz and Ortiz. That'll be tough, man. The only reason Ortiz is not in my top 7 or 8, man, because the way he looked against Charles Martin. Once again, his only 2 losses is to the top 2 heavyweight Deontay Wilder, but I think maybe Father Time may be standing on his shoulders. Maybe. I wasn't expecting him to look the way he did early in that fight. I wasn't expecting that, dog. I don't know. But I don't like Dillian White as a boxer. But truth be told, when I met him in person, I told the people about I was out there fishing in the MGM Grand late at night. It wasn't shit going on, dog. And I ran into the infamous table with Steven Espinoza and a whole lot of people. I was told not to take a picture of that table right there. That was $1 million photo, dog. But Dillian White was sitting there with his arms crossed, and I happened to see him through the blinds. And I said, shit, I got to scoop this up. He was cool, nice about it. Took a picture, chopped it up just a little bit. But I really wanted to take a picture of that table. That shit really happens, man. People have dinner. People who you think wouldn't be at that table, dog. I want to do Espinosa even remember when I pulled up to that table, man. Like, damn, I should have came in hot. Period. I should have came in with my camera rolling already, man. I should have came in hot, man. But I ain't want to, upset nobody that late at night. Stomach full. They got the itis. They might make impulsive decisions, dog. Get him out of here. Kick him out the MGM. Get his phone. Erase that. Shit. A lot of people at that table. Ortiz is old as dirt, but he's clinging on to my number 5 spot. Wow. So do you have Luis Ortiz in front of Andy Ruiz? Who do you think win that fight between Luis Ortiz and Andy Ruiz right now? Who do you think win that, Andrew? Usyk is legit for sure. He is, man. Cooking with Sir Senior on deck. What's good with it? Man, anybody want to jump on the panel or whatever and talk about this weekend or any other shit that was going on with AB pulling out the fight, being replaced by Sergey Lipinets, the former 140-pound champion, the guy who was stopped by Jaron Ennis in the 6th round. I mean, hey, shout out to the heavyweight division. Shout out to the Bronze Bomber heading back to the battlegrounds. Excuse me. We just want to see. I'm just curious about a couple of things. I just want to see with his weight, what he's planning on coming in with his weight with Helenius. I see him training in different areas. I think from what I understand, he's in Vegas right now. So that's great. He's switching it up. But I'm just curious to how this is going to play out. That's all. If we're going to see one of those grenades go off. I don't know. I'm not all about the knockout with Deontay Wilder. I've seen his knockouts, his 41. We know he can knock somebody the fuck out. All right. And boxers don't get paid for overtime. But people always say, man, we just want to see him box. Okay? We're not asking for much. We just want to see him box. Man, I'd kill to see him box, man. You know, give me a strawberry and chocolate sundae, man. I just want to see him box, man, so I can enjoy my Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn. It don't matter Deontay knock him out. They want to see him box. But that's what it is with that. I'm not sure if you all been hearing the back and forth with Ryan Garcia, you know, and Gervonta Davis, of course. But I showed you the damn, tweet. But what we do know with Ryan Garcia is that he's saying he support Adrian Broner. Okay. You're talking about two people who said, they have a lot going on and they claim mental health. All right, I get it. I'm totally not able to put my finger on the angle for which Ryan Garcia is coming with this. Like he's leaning heavy toward a lot of black fighters. Listen to what I'm saying before you jump to conclusions, right? We seen Ryan Garcia come out at the fight, but Danny Garcia was sitting with Errol Spence. You know what I'm saying? I know Danny Garcia ain't black. You don't have to sit up here and say, I know that. But he made a damn $20,000 bet, supposedly, with Errol Spence, a black fighter. It's some he's trying to groom. He's trying to somehow he's trying to pull in or draw in a different fan base. Okay, so it's the Errol Spence shit. Lost. Look goofy. All right. Then, prior to him going on the Duck Masters Coalition pound for pound, he said he wanted to fight Gervonta Davis. Went on Mike Tyson's, hot boxing podcast. And, they was on damn FaceTime together. I guess Ellie called up Gervonta and they was going back and forth. He said, you have to find a step ladder to beat me. And he's so pretty, this, that, and the other. Your career will forever be tainted and all this other shit, right? That didn't happen. Boom. Had a couple of fights. Pretty mediocre. Nothing to talk about. Now he's back on his stalking game. Right? He's calling back out Gervonta Davis. I'm talking about salivating. He's dead driven on stalking Gervonta Davis now. Then he said to Adrian Broner, I support you. You know what I'm saying? I support you. I'm with Adrian Broner on this. I support you on, basically putting out the fight and because you have mental health issues. I get it. I'm not sure y'all remember when I said Gervonta's supposed to be coming down to Atlanta for another fight for his last fight this year. He's supposed to be coming down to the A. I'm just trying to ponder who his opponent is. I don't want to guess in the dark, because this is Black Hollywood. We still in the process, for us to become a mainstream boxing footprint. We're looking at about 5 years, dog. 5 years of consistent presence of the big dogs coming down here, whether it be Top Rank or PBC. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to find out and predict Ryan Garcia's angle with being so involved with black fighters now. What is going on? Like, I'm not just saying this shit. Check my observation out. He came to the press conference and dripped out. He had that damn necklace that looked real nice. Had King Ryan on it, right? King Ryan, something like that. He had the drip going on. He's starting to dress like the brothers. We're talking about a guy who was on Mike Tyson's podcast in a tuxedo-like suit. black with a white shirt with a black bow tie. Now he's showing up to the presser with Javier Fortuna, and he's dripping. Y'all know I'm not lying. I'm not lying, man. And what is his motive? What is he trying to do all of a sudden? Is he trying to pull in more of a black fan base? Because he don't know where the fuck his fan base is at. He can't find them. You know what I'm saying? People used to say that, well, it was fact. He did have a lot of female fans lining up, watching his fights, but he has 2 kids now. So that kind of pretty much blew away in the wind. I'm just trying to determine and guess what's Ryan Garcia's angle. Do anybody out there believe when it comes to Ryan Garcia stepping there with Gervonta Davis, it's a 50-50 fight at 135? Fuck 140. Do you believe that's a 50-50 fight at 135? I don't know. A lot of people are saying yes. And some people, don't even think he should even get a shot at Gervonta after all the capping he was doing. But do you believe that's a 50-50 fight, Ryan Garcia, Tank Davis? Do you see that, them being as competitive, being that, Luke Campbell was able to drop this guy? How he looked against Emmanuel Tago? Knowing that Javier Fortuna received the orders and came there to do the same thing Custio Clayton did? Do you think it's a 50-50 fight? Just let me know, shout. So you'll take Andy over Ortiz? Yeah, it was a point in time where I wouldn't take Andy over Ortiz, but I will now, because I just think Ortiz is definitely at that point. He's a much older fighter. However old he is, I don't know. I don't know how old he is. You know what I'm saying? Balash, what's good? What's good with it? Shout out to you, brother. I give Ron more of a chance at 140. Tank still knocks him out, though. Bad feet, no defense, and high chin. Yeah, true words, man. You really have to look at the footwork of some of these fighters. You have to admire what Tio, even though he's not adored by many, but the fans, his true fans, cheer him on because of what they see. He's an entertaining fighter. But footwork wise, Tio would be a hard fight for Ryan Garcia. Tio would be a hard fight. You know what I'm saying? One thing about Gervonta Davis, Gervonta has proven that he can still be very, very dangerous boxing off the back foot. He showed us that he can move around and put his back up against the ropes and still get up out of there, but yet he's still dangerous. Or when he wants to play around with his food, and he'll say, okay, I'll allow you to lead. And people's like, man, Gervonta's getting touched. He's getting, oh shit. Before you know it, he put you to sleep. No one can tell me he didn't walk Roller Romero into that trap. Prior to that fight, I say Roller Romero's IQ doesn't measure up to Gervonta Davis, shawty. And he walked him into a trap, stood right there again, park benched. Rolly said, oh, he's just in there chilling, man. There's so many ducks out here and everything. Wow. Let me just go on in here and play around. He's just hanging out on the ropes. Clack. 3, 4. Rose, I'm gone. What did he hit me with? Bricks ain't allowed in a fight. Bricks ain't allowed. He hit me with a brick. I mean, come on, Rolly. You look goofy, dog. You look real goofy in that. And Gervonta set a trap. That's what he does. I told him his Rolly's boxing IQ couldn't fuck with Gervonta. Can't fuck with him. And I truly believe that Usyk Cruz stepped in there with Gervonta for a rematch. It'll be just like Floyd Mayweather and Marcos Maidana in the rematch. He was able to make it look a bit difficult in the first fight, but in the second fight, it's going to be easy for Gervonta. It's going to be easy. It's gonna be easy. It's not like Cruz has this knockout power. It's gonna be easy for Tank to get that win. But my question is, who is he gonna fight down here in the A? He already fought two Latinos. He fought a Cuban, and he fought Mario Barrios, the Aztec warrior. So we can be pretty sure that he's about to bring another Latino to the A. You know what I'm saying? It's all about who. It's a short list when it comes to Gervonta. Now, if it was him fighting Devin Haney down here, man, that should be fire. That should be fire. Gervonta and freaking Teofimo Lopez, if it was at 140, yeah, that'd be fire. Shakur Stevenson, who's already been down here and fought Jamel Herring, if Tank was bringing Shakur Stevenson down, oh my God. What? The people will come out. The people will come out, dog. Because, man, it was rocking and rolling up here when he was fighting Jamel Herring. Now they know who he is, but he can actually, he can actually build his fan base a bit more if he was just to come back down here in a short period of time. Like, I'm not saying have a short fight camp, that short period. I'm talking about don't allow your window to be damn near a year before you return back to the A, just so they can kind of get a refresher. Because that's what Gervonta Davis did. He came down here with Gamboa and then he returned with Mario Barrios. Mario Barrios wasn't anything exciting. They told us last minute the pressure, but it's Gervonta Davis, dog. Hey, Tank back in town, right? Okay, cool. If Gervonta came down here with a Stevenson, oh my God, that shit would be lit. We're not even talking about if Devin Haney came down here with a Tank. It's over. That shit would be a Mercedes-Benz Stadium. It's over, bro. It's over. It is over. The city will be on lock. I give Ryan more of a chance of 140. Tank still knocks him out. Ryan wears tuxedos in situations you don't need a tuxedo. Oh man, you ain't never lied, man. God damn, you all the way right on that. He wears tuxedos to events that doesn't even require that type of formal dress, bro. He just be dressing in tuxedos for no goddamn reason. And now, Charles, I'm curious to know, is he switching out the tuxedos? Because it always seems like he's in a black and white tuxedo, dog. Like, what's going on with you, bro? Is that the same one? Do you have like two? Bro, you wearing a tuxedo over the Mike Tyson podcast, hot boxing. That is not the place for you to get formal. That's not the place for you, Shotty. If they can make Tank Ryan, then they should do it. If Ryan wants it, let him have it. And Tank is a prize fighter, and this matchup fits that model perfectly. I agree with what you're saying as far as let them have it. But what we totally get is that it's not going to be on the terms, not even slightly, of what demands that Ryan Garcia wants. He can say 140 all day long. But if the primary division that Tank is campaigning at right now is 135, and Ryan Garcia is acting like, oh, it's just super tough for him to make 135 anymore, well, guess what's going to happen? Floyd and Tank going to make him make 135. And then he's going to go in there and get slapped. Seriously. He's not going to dictate no terms when it comes to Tank to say, meet me at 140. No, you fucked up by saying that. You fucked up, dog. They definitely, look, I'll be surprised if Tank said, you know what? Let's meet him at 140. For what? What is his benefit? You have a tall fighter, just like Mario Barrios, with better hand speed. The one bad thing about Garcia is, of course, he's a flat-footed fighter. chin. He has that kite attached to his chin. That shit just be flying up in the air and shit. And he kind of goes to the well too much, man. He get too wrapped up in making the flash videos. Seriously. And he makes some bad decisions in there. Seeing the fight go down the way it did with Rolly. And let's be honest, Ryan Garcia believes he's a way better fighter than Rolly. And he was like, if Rolly can make it to the 6th round and you take away him lunging in with that 1-2, it'll be an interesting fight. Ryan Garcia may be thinking that. That may be his mindset. He might be like, man, if he didn't go in with the 1-2, he's processing that shit. They really thought that Rolly was winning. Up to that 6th round, people would say, well, he just made one mistake. Well, that's boxing, though. Ryan, I believe, is looking at that one mistake Rolly was making, and then the opportunities that Rolly had early in the fight without the hand speed, without the fundamentals. Ryan's looking at Gervonta like he's food. Like, I can take advantage of those early rounds for which Rolly Romero wasn't able to. He feels he can take advantage of those. Tank had to fake a hand injury to explain why he dodged a bullet against Pitbull. Well, it's not a retort that I'm not going to come back. I understand where you're going with it, because the x-rays came back and it didn't reveal anything serious. Like he was saying, he hurt his hand, but he might have hurt his hand though, because you can tell when he tried to send that left uppercut and it went off the glove kind of awkwardly versus, Usyk Cruz. He had his right hand up. He had the earmuffs on. His defense, that's one thing we admired about him that fight. It kind of, landed an awkward way. So he might have hurt his hand. It maybe felt like he broke it, but it wasn't no broken bones. I don't think Tank faked the hand injury. Yeah, I think he really had a hand injury. Dude is a beast, man. Tank's a savage, bro. That's all I gotta say, man. I've seen that dude do some shit in sparring. Man, I'm saying to myself, God damn, how long did it take for you to learn some shit like that? And in a street fight, no. Ryan Garcia can't fuck with Tank's boxing IQ. Just like I said for Rolly, Ryan Garcia cannot fuck with Tank's boxing IQ. Dude is clever, bro. Tank is just super clever in there, man. It's a lot of shit that Tank has learned coming up. Like that be more, man, I don't even know what to call it, man. It's almost like, the dudes that be at the football games and be at these events, and they have them 3 cups with the the little ball up underneath it. You know what I'm saying? And they'll let somebody win. Well, no, not win. They'll let somebody think that they know what's going on. Like somebody might win once, but that's all a setup. Gervonta might allow you to believe that you're getting the momentum and you good, but all along he's in control with setting your ass up, just like he did Santa Cruz. You know what I'm saying? Just like he did Rolly Romero. He fought Gamboa all the way to the motherfucking end. He wasn't gonna allow Gamboa to get out that fight without being stopped. Mario Barrios, he broke him down, dog. He's a savage, bro. Gervonta is a savage, man. I don't know why people don't give him his respect like that. Maybe because, he don't say much. People look at, okay, Teofimo Lopez, Gervonta Davis. Who has more highlight reels? You know what I'm saying? Who this and that. But when it comes down to it, man, I don't know. It'd be good if he got a major sponsorship. That'd be great because he does have the highlight reels. But Tio has the bravado. He has the showmanship. You know what I'm saying? He has the interview, the PR. Like he'll talk his shit, good or bad. He'll talk his shit. Ron might be a better fighter than Rolly, but he's not as strong and physically imposing like Rolly style. I agree with you on that. I mean, Rolly, like I said before, Rolly has a different type of strength where he was that type of dude in Mayweather's gym that was trying to prove to everybody that if they wanted to spar somebody and make it all rough and, do cross facing and all that shit, that was going to be Rolly. He wanted to be the first in the motherfucking round. I go first. He wanted to get that sparring status. He wanted to become certified as being this rough and tough fighter that spars, that can't be fucked with. Now he's at a point right now, he's trying to prove that he can be the fighter that can't be fucked with. And that fighter was Gervonta Davis. That is somebody who a sponsorship may get behind even though he don't have the damn credentials. Seriously. Because they look at Rolly and they say, you know what, he's genuinely a goof off. He is. He's not faking it. He's a goofy dude. They might get behind him. I just seen him walking and all these people was taking pictures with him. Much different than he was when I seen him in San Antonio. Much different than when I seen him at the Barclays. He will tell you he's gained more notoriety from being knocked out by Tank. So strong wise, yeah, I believe he's stronger than Ryan. No doubt about it. You know what I'm saying? He has that judoka background. He's a black belt in judo, right? But when it comes down to who the fans will pretty much gravitate to, Ryan Garcia's, you know what I'm saying, his persona stands out a bit more when it comes to the fans than Rolly Romero. Rolly Romero has some goofy ways about him. And then he even looked goofy when he got knocked out. I'm telling you, man, he looked super goofy. Ryan Garcia can say that he touched the ground, touched the canvas, got up, and then he went right back. He wanted to get right back in the fight. Plus, with Ryan Garcia, he has the Hollywood thing going on too. That's who should have fought each other already. Rolly Romero should have fought Ryan Garcia, but somehow they BFFs now, and they ain't trying to fight each other. So what's next? Ryan Garcia get a piece of the pie. He's gonna have Rolly come in for some sparring. Okay. I think with Ryan, to be honest with you, Charles, with you saying that he's a stronger fighter, now we have to play the stylistic game with Gervonta. Gervonta knew that Rolly was a stronger fighter, but do people believe he's gonna fight Ryan Garcia the same as he did Rolly Romero? Just like you mentioned, when you talk about the mental scales, they're not balanced equally from the perception of Gervonta Davis. He's looking at it like Ryan Garcia is definitely a weaker fighter than Rolly Romero. And I don't see him pressuring me like Rolly. Rolly just thought he can eat any punch that Gervonta threw, and he didn't give a fuck. So he kept pressing because Gervonta ain't really touched him with anything. And he just felt within his mind, really, he felt 1,000% that he can knock Gervonta out. Ryan Garcia doesn't feel that way. Ryan Garcia doesn't feel 1,000% that he can knock Gervonta out. He doesn't have that Rolly Romero's freaking overconfidence. Ryan Garcia believes he can box. He believes he's one of the top fighters. He just feel like maybe I'll rise to another occasion if I step in there with Tank. He doesn't believe that he can knock Tank out because, Tank's chin is certified. He doesn't believe this shit. but he wants the opportunity. And nobody can tell me he's not gonna have Rolly come in there and try to learn some shit from the fight. I mean, teach him some shit from the fight. If Rolly is a teacher, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know, but I think Ryan Garcia gets knocked out in shorter fashion than Rolly Romero, bro. Seriously, I think Tank knocks out Ryan Garcia in shorter fashion and in less time. I do. Real talk. Tank a bad dude. I'm just being smart ass with the hand injury comment. I've watched that fight several times. It's a good one. Golden Shower Girl Promotion understand that Queen Sombrero is growing out of Tank sweepstakes. They also know he'll get whooped. They'll take the chance at this point. Hey, look at it like this, Mitch. One loss is not the end of the globe for which a fighter can roam. He's gonna be able to get another fight. It's not the end of the world now. You know what I'm saying? It's not the end. You know what I'm saying? I mean, people look how people are rocking, with Teofimo Lopez again. He has one loss, but people just talking about like, hey, they can say what they want, but they rocking with him again. They ain't thinking about his loss to Kambosos. Now more and more people are looking at it like, oh, he had a medical shit. He had a medical injury. Luke Campbell let Ryan shaking my head instead, got his punk ass stopped and retired. He did. He received the orders, bro. He earned a knockdown. However they come up with this, how it's going to play out scenario. And then he just backed up. It's almost like the clutch was fucked up. Man, this shit won't come out of reverse, dog. Something wrong, dude. I can't even put it in dry no more. Pop, pop, pop. Oh, shit. What was that? I didn't even see the curve. Was that a curve? Before you know it, motherfucker, man, come on. Weak. Nigga, weak, dog. That's unfortunate, too. That didn't make any sense, man. That didn't make any sense at all. Real talk. Didn't make any sense at all. Luke Campbell just shut it down. What was that other fight? L Train, man. Rubis Romero. It will be fighting Jesse Magnolino. Now, look. I don't know why. Jesse, the Magnolino brothers tough now. You know what I'm saying? The Magnolino brothers tough. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. I don't know. The Magnolino brothers tough though. They just don't get enough exposure. Jesse, his brother Diego does, especially when he defeated Austin Dulé. But I don't know. I don't know. Styles make fights, man. Jesse is like only has one loss though. He's 29-1. I don't know, man. Why would he be fighting this dude? I don't know. I really don't know why he's fighting this dude. But man, shout out to Ribisi, bro. Shout out to Ribisi. And I know I didn't talk much about it, but the winner of Anthony Durrell and Caleb Plant becomes like the WBC mandatory for Canelo Alvarez, I believe. Like, real talk. You can be the champion. Caleb can be the IBF champion, loses. Then his first fight back, fight Anthony Durrell to be, man, it reminds me of Sergey Derevyanchenko all over again, man. You know what I'm saying? He had two chances of the IBF and then he gets switched over to the WBC. I mean, boxing can make some shit work like MMA. You just don't see it that often. You just don't see it that often, bro. I'll hold on for a second. Yeah. Hey, I gotta take care of some business. I'll definitely be back on tomorrow. Hey, but y'all continue to support the channel. Appreciate everyone who pulled up. Miss Charles, SB90, Balash, Sir Senior. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate all y'all putting up. Juice Lee, IB, Big Blunts and Boxing. Salute to everyone who pulled up, man. I gotta take care of some business with the funerals coming up. So, man, y'all hold it down. Keep us in your prayers. Turn up and tune in to World Combat